You Choose Ancient China, an interactive history adventure by Terry Collins. Chapter 1. Ancient Leaders, Ancient Dynasties. China is home to one of the oldest civilizations in the world. Its culture is a rich one, filled with philosophy, science, and invention. The time period known as Ancient China began about 4,000 years ago. Much of this time in China's history was ruled by dynasties. A dynasty is a ruling family and the period of time they are in power. Some dynasties lasted for hundreds of years, while others lasted fewer than 20 years. Each dynasty had unique qualities. Each ruler brought in new ideas and customs. Historians believe the first dynasty, the Xia dynasty, began as far back as 2000 BC. Early dynasties such as the Xia were led by kings or rulers. Around 200 BC, the Qin Dynasty brought the first emperor to power, Qin Shi. He oversaw the joining of China from 7 major states into one mighty country. He built roads and canals, issued the same kind of money for all, and demanded that one written language be used. But Qin Shi could be cruel. He came up with a set of strict laws. Later dynasties changed some of them, but one concept remained the same. Ancient Chinese people believed the emperor was sent from heaven to rule. To defy the emperor could mean punishment, imprisonment, or death. 2 philosophers developed ideas that shaped the way ancient Chinese people lived. Around 600 BC, Lao Tzu founded the philosophy of Taoism. Taoism said that people should live in harmony with the universe. They should also work with nature for an easy life. Soon after Lao Tzu came another philosopher known as Confucius. He believed if people respected and followed the teachings of their elders and superiors, all would be good. The teachings of Confucius were not appreciated in his lifetime, but after his death, his ideas helped form a basis for Chinese government for thousands of years. During the dynasty's rule, society became more structured. The intellectual class could read and write. They helped govern all of China under the emperor. Many of these men became public servants, working as judges and tax collectors after passing a test. Women were rarely allowed to work as public servants. Their education was generally limited to homemaking skills. Peasants were below the intellectual class in the social order. Land was taken from rich noblemen and shared among the peasants to farm. Peasants grew food for the army and the people who lived in cities. Peasants were very poor, but also important to China's well-being. Next were the artisans. These skilled workers made weapons, pottery, tools, and other useful items. Many artisans passed on their skills to their children, creating long family lines of creative and skilled craftsmen. The merchants were the lowest rung on the social ladder. Since merchants only bought and sold goods, society viewed them as unworthy. Despite their social standing, merchants often were the wealthiest people in China. Apart from all of these classes was the professional soldier. To be a part of China's army was not a great honor. Common infantrymen were considered an even lower class than the merchants. Some generals became career military men, but most army members were drafted or called upon to serve for 2 years. There's no single date considered to be the end of the ancient Chinese era, but many historians believe it ended in 1911 with the fall of the last dynasty, the Qin Dynasty. Today, China is a blend of ideas and customs from many dynasties. China has become one of the most powerful nations in the world. Knowing its past is necessary to understanding this unique country. To explore life in China under Emperor Qin in 213 BC, click the video on the left. To help a man on the run in AD 691 during the rule of Empress Wu Zetian, click the video in the center. To travel the dangerous pathways of the Silk Road during the Ming Dynasty in 1420, click the video on the right.